Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we've seen the buyers being quite dominant and we've seen a pretty decent sized bounce already. Heading into the open, the buyers are in short-term control here. We have pre-market resistance 0875 to 1075. It's an area that is being tested right now. A breakout above the zone would bring the 18.5 gap and the 20.5 to 22.5 initial resistance zone into play. Now, the overall larger time frame bias continues to be bearish, but like I covered in yesterday's recap video, when you are in a high volatility bearish environment, the rallies and the bounces can be pretty strong as well, and that's something that we're seeing right now. So even though that bigger picture bias is bearish, we need to be in tune with the real-time momentum situation. And if the market is heading higher on very strong momentum and broad market strength, then it would make sense to be a little more cautious on the short side because the market is bouncing off of some larger time frame support after being quite exhausted and oversold. So there can be some follow through to the upside. And we could be testing 20 half, 22 half. A breakout above that area would bring 27 half and the 38 to 40 area into play. And at that point, the risk reward would shift back to the sell side, and we can start seeing sellers stepping back into the market. So 38 to 40, the 42 high volume node, 43 to 45 half, those are all good spots to look for short setups. And even the 20 half to 22 half initial resistance zone could provide a response, and it is valid resistance until broken. On the downside, if the buyers are to maintain control, then ideally you want to see ES holding above 99 to 2001, and a breakdown below 99 would signal a shift on the smaller time frames back to the sell side. And at that point in time, we'll have to be careful on any long setups because we could be heading down into the previous VPOC at 91, possibly even the gap fill at 85, and then we have support at 81 half to 83 half, and that would still be an area where buyers could be active on first test. And in the event of a break below that zone, the support zones below would still be valid, and those would still be areas where buyers can be active. But given how strong the world markets have been here in the overnight session, given how strong the European markets have been, it's unlikely that we're going to see a complete reversal of this overnight move. So, the high probability scenario is a gap fill and a test of 20 half to 22 half, and then perhaps, we balance a bit from there. But if there is a lot of momentum and broad market strength behind it, then even breaking a bit above 20 half, 22 half would not really take a whole lot. So right now, heading into the open, the short-term bias is fairly neutral, simply because the overnight bias has been quite bullish, and we could be heading up to 20 half to 22 half. But that bigger picture bias being bearish could show up at the resistance zones above. So 20 half, 22 half, and especially in the event that we get a breakout, the 38 to 40, 43, 45 half, at that point the market would be super exhausted anyway, and those are pretty solid areas of resistance. So, it'll take a lot for the market to get there, and we may not even reach all the way up to 38 to 40, but in the event that the market does manage to go all the way up there, those would be very good shorts, and 20 half, 22 half is going to be a hurdle until it's taken out. So today we are going to be looking for longs and shorts. Shorts at good location, longs also at good location, but given the higher volatility, it's very important to be in tune with the real-time momentum of the market. And there are a lot of rotations, a lot of nice swings intraday. So, if you miss one trade, just be patient, and another one will probably set up within 20 to 30 minutes on the day time frame. So, there's no need to be overly aggressive. You can still secure a pretty decent location in this market and get at least 2 to 3 R out of those trades. So those are the main ideas heading into the open. Let's see how ES responds to 20 half to 22 half. Whether it fails there and continues to just balance in yesterday's range, or whether it actually puts in a breakout. That's what we'll be watching. And then off the open, how the market responds to 0875 to 1075 is going to help us just figure out whether the buyers are continuing to be dominant. And then on the downside, 99 to 01 is the spot that buyers would need to hold. And if that fails, then we could be looking at a retest of 91, possibly even lower. So those are the main ideas. Let's see if the buy side can maintain the control we've seen here in the overnight session, and we'll take it from there.